My dear friends, know what most people don't realize, that the more you chase money, the more it runs away from you. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. You get exhausted, frustrated, and empty-handed. The truth is, money isn't the root of success. It's the fruit. The root is value. The moment you stop obsessing over income and start focusing on who you're becoming, how much you're growing, learning, building, everything starts to shift. You begin to see that the real wealth lies in your mind, your skills, your discipline. Because people don't pay you for how much you want money, they pay you for the problems you solve. And if you can solve problems better than most, faster than most, deeper than most, then the world will line up to give you more than you ever imagined. It took me a while to realize this. I used to think that hard work alone would bring in the money. So I worked harder than everyone around me. I sacrificed sleep, skipped meals, burned out. And yet, others who didn't work as hard still seemed to have more. That made me bitter at first, until I understood the difference between working hard and working with value. People aren't rewarded just for effort. They are rewarded for impact. And if your effort isn't solving high-value problems, it won't produce high-value rewards. That changed everything for me. I stopped asking, how can I make more money? And started asking, how can I become more valuable to the people around me? Because the better I made myself, the more income became a natural outcome. Now think about this. You don't chase oxygen. It's all around you because you're in the right environment. The same is true for money. When you're in alignment with your gifts, developing your purpose, sharpening your skills, showing up with excellence, money just becomes part of the air you breathe, not because you begged for it, but because you built yourself into someone it had to follow. People pay for trust, for reliability, for depth, for clarity. If you walk into a room and people feel your energy, your leadership, your problem-solving power, they'll want to hire you, partner with you, learn from you. But if you're still chasing the next quick win, the next trend, the next short cut, then you'll always be one step behind. Value doesn't come from copying others. It comes from knowing yourself deeply enough to create something only you can offer. So, stop running after money like it's your master. Become the kind of person money is drawn to. Be the one who doesn't need to shout to be noticed, because your presence already says enough. Develop habits that sharpen your focus, grow your self-respect, and expand your capabilities. Study more than you scroll, create more than you consume. Train your spirit to be patient, your hands to be skillful, your heart to be grounded, because the world doesn't need more desperate people chasing dollars. It needs more rare people who become so valuable, so consistent, so excellent, that money finds them, stays with them, and multiplies through them. That's when you're not just earning, you're becoming. And that kind of wealth can't be taken from you. Everyone wants to grow their bank account, but very few stop and ask, have I grown myself enough to handle what I'm asking for? We all want success, recognition, financial freedom. But if your inner world is small, cluttered, insecure, or undisciplined, no amount of money will ever fix that. In fact, money has a way of magnifying what's already inside. If you're careless, it will multiply chaos. If you're wise, it will multiply opportunities. That's why the first deposit you ever need to make is into you. Your mindset is your first investment. Your discipline is your real savings account. Your habits are your true wealth, because here's the truth. If you don't outgrow your excuses, you'll never outturn your past. The better version of you is the one that earns, leads, builds, and lasts. Not the version that waits for luck or wishes for miracles. I've seen people get lucky with money, fast checks, viral moments, unexpected wins. But it never lasts when the foundation is missing. They get it, and they lose it, because their character couldn't carry what their hustle caught. But when you grow yourself intentionally, when you train your mind to think long-term, when you build integrity into every move, when you discipline your time, your attention, your energy, you're not just preparing for success. You're becoming someone who can keep it. That kind of growth is slow. It doesn't go viral. It's invisible at first. But one day, the world sees it and calls it overnight success. The truth is, real wealth doesn't rush. It waits for the person who's prepared, developed, and ready. So if you want your bank account to rise, make sure your personal development rises first. Because here's the beautiful part. When you grow yourself, you don't just become richer. You become stronger. You gain emotional clarity. You stop reacting to everything and start responding with wisdom. You stop spending just to feel better and start investing because you know better. Your self-respect goes up. Your decision-making sharpens. You choose better people, better habits, better goals. That's what self-growth gives you. It makes you someone your future can trust. And once your future can trust you, doors start opening that once looked locked forever. You don't need a lucky break. You need personal alignment. And when your values, vision, and energy align, you become a magnet for real, lasting success. That's when your name starts being mentioned in rooms you haven't even walked into yet. So the next time you feel stuck, broke, or frustrated, don't just ask, "Where's the money?" Ask instead, "Where am I growing? Where am I lacking? What do I need to learn that I keep avoiding?" Because money will always come to the one who's outgrown their old self. You're not chasing income, you're chasing impact. And the more you grow in patience, persistence, perspective, and purpose, the more money simply becomes a tool, not a trophy. Don't let your net worth outgrow your self-worth. Don't be rich in your wallet and bankrupt in your soul. If you grow the bank account will follow. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but inevitably, grow yourself, grow your world every time. It's easy to sit back and wish. Wish for a better life, wish for more money, wish for recognition, comfort, and success. But wishes don't pay the bills, and dreams without discipline are just fantasies. The world doesn't pay you for what you want. It pays you for who you are. That's a hard truth to swallow, especially when your heart feels full of potential, but your hands are still empty. But potential means nothing if you never become what you're capable of. The market isn't emotional. It doesn't care how bad you want it. It responds to value. It responds to what you've built in silence, to how deeply you've mastered your craft, to how well you solve problems. You don't get paid for what you hope for. You get paid for what you offer. And the more rare and refined you become, the more undeniable your worth becomes. There was a time when I thought my desire alone should open doors. I believed that just because I wanted success, I deserved it. But life taught me different. Desire isn't currency. Discipline is. Wishing is not a strategy. Becoming is. And becoming takes work. Internal, emotional, spiritual work. You have to evolve beyond the version of you that settles. You have to become someone the world needs, not just someone it scrolls past. What you're paid reflects what you've practiced, what you've learned, what you've dared to stretch into. And sometimes that means years of becoming before the world notices. But when it does, when it finally sees who you've become, everything changes. Suddenly you're not chasing opportunities, opportunities chase you. Not because you wished, but because you became. The market, whether it's business, relationships, or life in general, rewards clarity, consistency, and courage. It doesn't care about your excuses. It cares about your execution. That may sound harsh, but it's freeing once you get it. Because it means your future doesn't depend on luck or permission. It depends on your growth. That's power. That means you can shape your own economy, your own destiny, by becoming irreplaceable. You want to earn more. Then become more. Learn deeper. Speak with purpose. Show up with excellence. You can't fake value. People feel it. You don't need to be flashy. You just need to be solid, dependable, and relentlessly committed to the best version of yourself. That version will open doors you can't even see yet. So stop wishing and start working. Stop hoping and start becoming. Every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every challenge you overcome, it all compounds. The market will eventually reflect what you've put into yourself. It may take time, but it always pays back value. Every second spent building yourself in the dark is an investment the world will one day pay for in the light. So if you're not getting the rewards you hoped for, don't get discouraged. Get curious. Ask yourself, what do I need to become that I've been avoiding? Because when you commit to the inner work, the outer rewards will chase you down. Not because you begged, but because you built. That's the path, that's the price, and that's the power of becoming over wishing. There's a silent pain that too many carry, the pain of not being seen, not being respected, not being valued. And it hurts, but what hurts even more is the moment you realize that the world was only treating you the way you allowed it to. The hard truth, no one will respect you until you start respecting yourself first. If you constantly shrink yourself, tolerate being overlooked, or stay silent when your voice matters, you're teaching the world how to treat you. People mirror what you model. When you don't protect your boundaries, no one else will. When you don't speak up for yourself, no one else will. It begins with you, your confidence, your standards, your willingness to say, I matter, whether they see it or not. Respect isn't something you chase from others. It's something you claim within yourself. And the moment you do, everything begins to shift. There was a time when I waited for validation. I thought if I worked harder, stayed quiet, or pleased everyone, they would respect me more. But instead, they respected me less. Why? Because I didn't respect my time. I didn't respect my worth. I didn't speak from power. I spoke from fear. And when you treat yourself like you're optional, the world will too. But the day I decided to stop waiting, to start honoring my own voice, my own boundaries, my own standards, that's the day people started listening. I didn't get louder. I just got clearer. I didn't become arrogant. I became anchored. Self-respect isn't about pride. It's about alignment. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and refusing to compromise that just to be accepted. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If you keep making yourself small so others feel big, you'll never grow. If you keep saying yes when your soul is screaming no, you'll burn out. Self-respect isn't selfish. It's essential. When you respect yourself, you walk differently. You speak with intention. You stop chasing and start attracting. People feel the difference. You don't have to beg for a seat at the table. You build your own. And trust me, when you sit in your truth, people either level up to meet you or walk away because they can't. Either way, you win. Because when you honor yourself, life begins to honor you back in relationships, in opportunities, in how the world responds. It all starts on the inside. So if the world has ignored you, underpaid you, disrespected you, don't waste energy trying to change them. Change how you see yourself, do the work, set the standards, speak your truth, carry yourself like you matter because you do. Look in the mirror and decide, I will never again let the world treat me lower than I treat myself. You're not here to be tolerated. You're here to be valued, but that value has to begin with how you walk, how you speak, how you treat your own time, energy, and purpose. When you start acting like someone who deserves respect, the world won't just notice, you'll command it. Not by force, but by the strength of your presence. Respect yourself first and watch what follows. The world doesn't set your worth. You do, and once you know it, everything around you changes.